This is the prolific teaching ministry of Apostle Tolu Agboola, the lead pastor of His Worship Christian Network. Brace yourself for an experience of enlightenment, education, and transformation as you engage with this episode.
Where the word of God is not read, where scriptures are not known, where they do not become the substance of discussions, where they do not become the substance of conversations, where they cease to be the substance of our songs, of our meditations. What happens is that a generation progressively becomes distuned from the frequency of God. I've said to you that the written word does not just inform us of what God is saying. The written word also advertises to us how God speaks. So there's particular matters of your life that you need a rhema word for. I mean a word that is tailor-made for. If you do not understand what God, or do not know what God has said, nor you understand how God speaks, you can call the opposite of rhema in Nigerian street language is remos. If you go on Facebook, you will see a lot of remos. Things that people have said under the strength of inspiration, and you are wondering how this same God. So the Bible helps to guard what your heart alights upon in the realm of the spirit, because you can't have inspiration where a spirit is not involved. Are you with me? Good. So how? So it means that the word of God is like a tuning fork. If you have been a student of physics, you know what a tuning fork is. Every student in your school was supposed to be a student of physics, but now people studied government are in this school now. Abi? So my dad used to have those old wooden pianos. And the wooden piano had a harp-like construct behind, a lot of strings, like the strings of a bass guitar. So every time you press a key, whether it's white or black, a hammerhead goes from it and strikes the string. That's how it produces the note. So there are times, because of harmattan, the strings become stretched, or in rainy season they become slack, and so the sound is no more. Farm males begin to look like a hair. Okay, I still don't know that tonic. This thing. He used to try that. It was our head of tenor. Once they bring those things, my own is to listen to somebody sing, and then I just flow. I still don't know it till now. So somebody used to come from Ibadan that time, and the man had a box of forks. The forks was like a U with a string. He always wore a wooden sole to his shoe, because that shoe too was part of the tool of trade. So he takes the tuning fork and strikes his sole, and then that fork begins to release a sound, the pure sound of the string. And so what he does is that he begins to tighten at the bolts or relax that string, so that a phenomenon called resonance operates. Once the frequency of the string becomes the frequency of the fork, there will be a note sound. Are you with me? The word of the Lord is like that tuning fork. And the last time I checked, God is not just about to strike his soul, he has struck it. So the word is already inviting that men come into its frequency. The way to sound like what God has sounded is that you yield your own frequency. But when the word becomes absent, and then church service becomes a place where we do old wives' fables, a people become distuned away from the frequency of God. And the phenomenon that is occasioned is what we call the famine of the word. I was studying that as I prepared for this meeting too, and the Lord will have me share it. every time the famine of the world happens, there is a direction of travel. When you look at all of the patriarchs, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, every time there was famine, what direction did they go to? Egypt. Now, do you know what Egypt is spiritually? Because there are only two kinds of negative colonization systems that are advertised, metaphorically. Babylon is corruption. Egypt is what? It's oppression. It means every time there's a famine of the world, people journey into oppression. The journeys are legitimate. I went to preach in a Federal Polytechnic, Ado, on Wednesday. I showed my wife the flyer. So I was trying to get water. And I walked into, they said it's only in the bar. The bar was not too far from the reception. So I walked into the bar. And as I gave them money to get water, I sat down and I saw a plaque. The plaque said that Christians, and what it means by Christians is those who don't drink beer, that Christians go to the law court carrying Bibles in their hands and still tell lies. But a drunkard tells the truth. I hope you know. When you are drunk, you have no capacity to lie. Are you with me? What is in a drunkard is what the drunkard says. So see the indictment. They now wrote at the end, brother, drink beer and start telling the truth. That's what it's a big plaque, like the background of the bar. When I saw it, I was like, we don't lie rich that we don't become byword. What got me sad was what they wrote there was brother. Because in the real sense, there's no brotherhood outside this kingdom. It means encouraging the believer who is struggling. Say, I no drink. Say, guy, this is the way to truth. When they brought, they used to bring complimentary stuff. When they brought Nescafe and a bottle of wine. The way I eyed that bottle, I told her, this bottle, I suspect that there's alcohol inside it. She said it's only 5% now. That you will not sleep. Nothing will happen to you. I now said, me, I'm one of the sons of Rechab. That's all I said. She now said, you are pastor. I had not read that in that time. Maybe she expected I should have read it. To say, brother, drink this thing and tell the truth. So I took only the Nescafe. I said, you don't have juice or something? She said, no. That this is the only thing they give everybody. We don't know the somebodies amongst us have gone to that place, and from somebody they became everybody. How can I break consecration because of wine? Wine, far. How much they sell wine now? They still produce those ever wine. How much they sell now? 6,000. We used to buy that in 350 to 180. Yes, now. The word. The word. Every time there is a famine of the word, and by that we mean that people can no longer accurately discern what God is saying to them, it may not be an end to hearing, but an end to discernment. Where every time they hear, they end up confused because they can no longer separate between the word of God and their souls or what the enemy is speaking. Like the patriarchs from Abraham to Jacob, they all go down to Egypt. And the going down always produces after the same sort. What it produces is what we call unhealthy compromise. People begin to adopt Egyptian ideologies. Even though their intentions are right, their products will no longer be gone. Okay. I want to raise a prayer point. We'll pray for 3 minutes. It is easier to watch Ozane on YouTube than to read the Bible. It is because in your fellowship with the word, your soul is affected. And because the word of God has soul damaging tools, the pain of being damaged will make the soul desire what suits it than what damages it. Is my word not like a hammer that breaketh to pieces, or a fire that burneth? Are you with me? Ozane is a good guy. How many of you know Ozane? Okay, you don't know Ozane now because you're in church. It's easier to do 4 hours with Ozane than scriptures. It's easier to watch a series. I think those Korean series, they don't do them again. Or they still do. No, I've not heard anybody speak about. Doctor, have you watched anyone recently? Not recently. Okay. I don't even know that they still do them. But it's easier to stay before a series movie. If you approach reading scriptures with the same mind, after 15 minutes, you will think you have read enough. After 30 minutes, you'll find out that you've been reading the same line for 5 minutes. And then strange sleep begins to beckon upon you. Even though, stay with me, even though you had no intentions to sleep. When you started, you understand. By the middle of the chapter, your body started reacting. You will first change posture. Then you say, I'll come back. But it does not happen. It may be on your friend's phone that you are watching it and you needed to stretch. The body adapts to what pleases the soul. It means if you will become a creature of the word, you will need help. Is that help that I want us to ask for 3 minutes? Since you have invited us to re-embrace the word, your word says that you are the one who is at work in us, both to will and to do of that which pleases you. So we ask that you will stretch our desire back to your word. You can ask him now.